Hey guys, and welcome back to a new video on the channel. Have you ever done an MOT test and failed at the emissions? Well, I haven't, and maybe you haven't, but I know that a lot of people do fail. But before you get your car to your mechanic, there are a few things you could do at home to make your car pass. I apologize for the background noise, but every time when I try to shoot a video, my neighbors are mowing their lawn. Oh well. So, first thing you can do is check the air filter. A dirty air filter will restrict airflow to your engine and cause it to run rich. In diesels, a rich running engine will often produce black smoke. Well, more than usual at least. And that black smoke is basically unburned fuel. And the same goes for gasoline engines, but they don't smoke nearly as much as diesels do. If the air filter is clean or you replaced it not too long ago, the next thing you can do is check the mass airflow sensor. Now this little fella measures how much air is getting sucked into the engine, and a dirty sensor could give your car's computer false readings and could cause imbalance in the air-fuel ratio. Check the sensor, and if it's dirty, try cleaning it with contact clean. But please avoid using brake clean or, heavens forbid, WD-40. Those will leave small deposits on the sensor and could cause it to malfunction. The next thing you can do is try using fuel additives. There are a number of fuel additives out there from all kinds of manufacturers. Try using one that will clean your car's engine, but also keep in mind that that's no miracle cure. It won't kick in once you pour it down the filler cap. It'll probably take a full tank or maybe two to make any difference. So you should use one a month or maybe two prior to your MOT test. Also, you should consider using premium fuel. Now, premium fuel tends to run cleaner than normal fuel, and it already contains most of the fuel additives that your engine needs to run efficiently. One more thing you should consider doing is warming up your car's engine to operating temperatures before the MOT test. Now this is very critical to do in diesel engines because depending on where you live, the MOT inspector might rev your diesel car to max RPMs. And believe me, you don't want to have max revolutions on a cold engine. There's one more thing that I believe everyone should do before an MOT test. And that is get your car on the highway where you can get to good speeds and get those revs up. So what I mean by that? Well, now I'm driving 100 kilometers an hour, but instead of using 6th gear, try using 4th gear. And boom, that's 2600 RPMs. And hold these RPMs for about, 10 to 15 minutes. And that'll help your engine to clean up some carbon buildup, fuel injectors and whatnot, which in turn could leave your car's engine to run a bit cleaner. So cruise control on, so it stays there, and there we go. So I have a perfect example for this. A colleague of mine bought a Suzuki Jimny about 3 years ago, and he failed his first emission test. And the MOT inspector told him that he should get on the highway and drive on higher RPMs than he usually does. And sure enough, while doing this, the car started to produce a lot of smoke for a few minutes. And after that, it was fine. And the next day, when he did his emissions test, he passed with flying colors. I would especially advise doing this to people who do a lot of city driving, or who drive a lot of short distances. Well, I mean, it's not like it's gonna hurt your car or anything. Well, of course, that is if your car is in a bad shape, but then again, why bother with the MOT test? There is one last thing I want to mention regarding emissions tests. Something interesting I observed while having my Ford tested. Last year, my Ford's smoke opacity test results were 3 times higher than the previous year. Well, don't get me wrong, the results were still way below the limits. So I asked the inspector, why is that? And he said, what kind of weather I had during my previous test. And sure enough, I remember it was freezing cold. And he said, there you have it. Cars supposedly run more efficient in cold weather than they do in warm weather. And yeah, when I did that second test with those high results, it was warm. And when you think about it, it actually makes sense. Because oxygen in the air is denser in cold temperatures than it is in warm temperatures. And oxygen is crucial for an internal combustion engine to work. Duh! So I guess it might be worth a shot doing your emissions tests in the winter? But anyways, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. That means a lot to me. If by any chance you find this load of rubbish in any way useful for you, consider liking and subscribing. Stay safe and see you next time.